Evening, everyone. Happy Monday evening. Welcome to this episode of San John Black Marathon Madness, the special episode of San John Black Marathon Madness. I'm your host, Johnson McGain, and let's begin. So today we're going to talk about the ultimate timeline of the Brotherhood. Alright? So let's begin. I'm going to do it on this whiteboard over here. I'm Mr. Hunter again, the professor. Alright. The lead will be back when I was in elementary school, and also it will be junior year. And black will be 8th grade. Okay? So, here is, I was going to put Brotherhood timeline. So, to the best of my memory, my knowledge, okay, I'm kind of an expert. So this started, I think, in 3rd grade. That was like the first time the Brotherhood existed. I think that's when the Brotherhood started. Starts. Okay. And it also continues in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th, and 7th. And then black will be 8th. But let's just start with like elementary school and early middle school. Alright. So the Brotherhood, I believe, starts in 5th grade and is a small group of people. Hayden is the leader. And um, and then we got another person named um, Logan Walters, which he'll be back later on. There's not an assistant at this point, I don't think, but who knows? And Gage, I'm trying to think who else. Oh, and Dustin. Right, this is the early. Oh, and Justin is also Hunter's BFF. Well, one of his BFFs. So this is the first Brotherhood. And in 4th grade, it's once again Hayden's the leader. Unknown about the assistant. Logan Walters, Gage, Dustin, Alright. In 5th grade, it continued with Hayden. I don't know about assistant at this point. Logan Walter, Gage, Dustin, the same old, same old. And this is the first year of middle school. I don't know. But hey, me and Hayden, we're all friends, but I wasn't in their Brotherhood yet. Because I didn't really know about it. It was kind of like a. And then once again, 6th grade, Hayden, no assistant yet, I don't know. Logan Walters, Gage, Justin, and then at the end, then we have another kid. His name was Sean, I believe. And and then at the end, I think at one point I am in it. So I think I start with the Brotherhood kind of, and I forgot to mention this, but Justin, because at the end of 4th grade he moves away, so he don't join the middle school. So I forgot to mention that. But um, but I joined in 6th grade for a little bit, and then in 7th grade it's Hayden, unsure about assistant. Well, and this is Hey Hunter. This is Hey Hunter, our show. Hey Hunter. Logan Walter is still there. Gage, Justin, Sean is no longer there. Later on, we get Jared, the famous Jared, and I am in there as well. However, at the end of Hey Hunter, which is the end of seventh grade, Hayden announces that he is moving away. So in eighth grade, he'll no longer be there, unfortunately, which Hunter's sad about. But Hayden and Hunter are friends, and he asked Hunter if he would be the assistant for the rest of seventh grade. And then next year, the assistant will turn into the Brotherhood leader. So Hayden wants me to be the leader of our fun group in eighth grade. So that's how Hunter becomes the leader. And I think I talked about many times before. So elementary school done, like most of middle school is done. We're going into the final year of eighth grade, which is Sajon Block. Um, my own show is, and now I'm the leader. And this is what we've been talking about all the time as Brotherhood, eighth grade and seventh grade. And I'll tell you the tea. I'm going to tell you all the tea in this special episode. I just want to break down the Brotherhood, how it started, and where it went to. And the red will be back for high school. Okay, eighth grade. Eighth grade. This is eighth grade year. Hunter, I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I'm the bird. As we know, I'm the savage, and I'm the king of the Brotherhood. It's my way and the highway, the whole 9 yards. And I'm gonna say season 1, part 1. Okay. Um, and I forgot to mention in seventh grade there was this rival fun group, and we'll see this in eighth grade a little bit. But in seventh grade, there's this white and Hey Hunter days. I forgot to mention this black stuff. But luckily, I bought my own black. There's this white. That's much better. Much better. Okay. In seventh grade, there's this rival club named called the Savage Club. And they're trying to be savage just like Hunter. They don't do too good. They're kind of like a clown. There's a clown show. And their leader in seventh grade is John, which is familiar to us. He's the leader. Adam's the probably assistant. And then there's some other people that we don't know about. Well, I don't remember who was in, but this is seventh grade department, and they were rivaling our Brotherhood. Now, let me get into it. So back to eighth grade, back to Saturn Block. I'm the leader. I made my friend, whose name is Camden. So Camden's my assistant. I made him my assistant for part 1. And I have a friend named um, Bradley I put into the club, the fun group, if you will. I put Jared in the club. I put his friend Cameron, which is new. I put and I put another friend named Kaden in the club, Kason in the club. So who else? Dustin, from the original Brotherhood, came back. A friend named Nick, which is also Cameron's friend. That's how I got them two together. Like some of these people are friends already, so it was like they were connected. Um, so that was easy to. That's how I kind of created the Brotherhood because I had groups of people I just added together, which is smart. I mean, so Now, and then John's a friend of mine as well. So I bring John from the Savage Club over here, and and their friends, and Adam as well, from the Savage Club to the Brotherhood. So the Savage Club in 8th grade is non-existent for now. For now, okay. But later on, they'll come back. Now, in 8th grade, and it ends again. But anyway, I'll tell you why later. So we got me as leader, as the king, Camden as my assistant, Nick um, as a member, Bradley as a member, Jared is a member, Cameron is a member, Caden's a member, Cason's a member, Dustin's a member. I also asked Gage and Logan Walters from the original Brotherhood and Elman, but they didn't want to come back for some reason. But and then John and Adam. So this is my Brotherhood at this point. So then part two of season 1. There's going to be on. I decide to, because there's some craziness going on, I decide to, and I'm still leader. Camden's still the assistant. Nick is still a member. Bradley's still a member. Jared, Cameron, Caden, Kason, Dustin, John, Adam. I decide to add two new people, Chris with a K and Brendan. But more so Jared gets jealous of these two. So during this time, I temporarily kick out Jared but he comes back. But yeah. So this is the Brotherhood at this point. Then later in season 1, I decide to expand the Brotherhood and start my own Savage Club / Brotherhood 2.0, which is my new branch, which is based off the Morning Club / Breakfast Club. So Brotherhood 2.0 I add at this time as well, part 2. Which is me still as leader, Camden still the assistant. We have I move actually, so some of this jealousy, so I moved Chris away from the Brotherhood 1.0. I move him over to 2.0. And then Brandon, which has Vander, Way, and Gordon. And then another song, but different than the other one. So I expand the Brotherhood, I expand my empire of the Brotherhood to Brotherhood 2.0. So I need to lace this because I'm going to have food. So early on, I very much expand my empire. So at this point, the Brotherhood 1.0, let me move back to the wait. It's still me, Camden, Nick, John, Adam, Jared, Cam, Lynn, Dustin, Caden, Kason, and Brendan. So that is it. But now I going to do part 4. This is close to Thanksgiving break time, and this is our first kick out of ever. So, I decide at this point is because me and Kason are having a little disagreement, and he's being disrespectful to me, and I kick him out. So that is my first full-time kick out. So at this point now, part 5 is now me, Camden, Nick, Bradley, um, Adam, John, Jared, Cameron, Dustin, and Caden, Brendan, and um, and that's it at this point. And then, um, and then at this point, there's some drama at the Brotherhood. I'm getting overwhelmed, so I decide I'm calling some help from 2 other friends of mine, Montana and Emily, two women because I think women are good, leaders and know how to get men, get Brotherhood men under control. I think women set men, get men straightened out, and that's what I need. So I decide this is season 2, part 1, actually. I decide to it's me as the leader, and then this is the first women ever in the Brotherhood. So Montana and Emily are my assistant to get the Brotherhood straightened out. And then Camden's still a member, even though he's not the assistant no more. It's Montana Emily, but he's still in the team. Nick is still there. Bradley, Adam, John, Jared, Cameron, Dustin, Caden, and Brendan. Okay, and that works out for a while. They get so much straightened out, but they're still crazy enough. And then season 2, part 2, I decide it gets more crazy, and I have to kick someone else again. This is like the day before winter break. So right now it's me, Montana, Emily, Camden, Brendan, Adam, John, Jared, Cameron, Dustin, Caden, and Bradley. Right? But me and Caden have a little argument, so I have to and he gets disrespectful. So I kick, and he was disrespectful to Montana Emily, so I kick him out. So and he was a complainer. He wanted a pyramid redo, which I talked about before. So one day he complained about his spot in the pyramid. He didn't like it, so I decided we're done. And at this, also the day before winter break, I decided to add my friend, a good friend of mine at this time, named Aiden. So I add Aiden to the Brotherhood. And he'll soon be an assistant possibly after winter break. I have to waste the course because there's so much detail. Yeah. Now season 3 is here, part 1. The Brotherhood 2.0 is doing alright too, but this is still 1.0. Now I was thinking about during winter break, like ending the Brotherhood. I was just so fed up with the drama and craziness. I can't do this. So, but over winter break, I decided I'm gonna try to regroup the Brotherhood and ask if there's any new person like Logan Walters or Gage that want to do it. They end up saying no, and I make them sign contracts and stuff. But it's me at this point, either. Montana, Emily, assistant, Aiden, Brendan, Bradley, Dustin, Cameron, Jared, um, Nick, Camden, John, Adam. I think that's it. But I asked Montana and Emily if they want to continue, and they say they're done. They want to move on, so they quit. And then I make Aiden, who was a friend of mine, the assistant. So this goes smoothly, kind of for a while. There's still some craziness, but yeah. Oh, 2.0 at this point is still the same. At this point, this is me, Aiden, whoever the assistant is. When I mean Way, Vander, Brandon, Gordon, and Charlotte at this point. So that's it. I wanted to, but this is pretty much how it is for a while, and then this needs to, and it kind of goes crazy. Now, but we'll get to that. Season 3, Part 2. I decide this is where things get kind of cuckoo again. At this point. So, at this point, it's me still, Aiden still, Nick, John, Adam, Camden, Bradley, Lyndon, Jared, Cameron, Dustin. Um, did I say Adam? Adam. Oh, I did say it. I feel like I'm not missing anyone. Okay. No, I don't think I'm missing it. Am I? No. Okay. But there's some a little disagreement with Aiden, Brendan, and Cameron. So they all just go ahead and quit. Oh, they quit the Brotherhood for because they're just kind of not liking the pyramid, and so they all leave at a similar time. But at this time, it's me now. I decide to make at this time Jared my assistant. Nick is also still kind of in there for now. John, Adam, for now. I'll tell you about that. Um, Cameron's still in there, and Bradley's still in there. But I decide to add, also at this point, I add Chris with a C. Oh, and I forgot Chris with a C there. This is kind of how it is at this point. So, did I forget Dustin? Dustin. So this is how it is once they quit. It's now me as leader, Jared as assistant, Nick is still here for a little bit, John for now, Adam for now, you know, Cameron for now, Bradley for now, Chris and Dustin. And I also there's a new guy named William that I add that wants to be a part of it. So that's a new person, and this is it for a while. I already have to erase this board. So for some odd, I mean, for unfortunately, the Brotherhood is kind of going down, shrinking a little bit, kind of for now. But that's just how it goes with some groups. Really. I mean, partly, yeah. So this is point 1.0. It's me as leader. Jared is my assistant. Cameron, Dustin, Adam for now, John, William, let's see, Bradley. That's it. But at this point as well, I add two new members that want to be a part of it. Haley, which I have some tea about her, which is the second woman ever to be a member of Brotherhood. I mean, the third woman actually. But and Blaine. So these are two new members. But oh, Nick, that's an important one. But during this point, there's some craziness with Nick. So drama with I have to kick him out, so he's kind of done. So now it's me, Jared, Cameron, Dustin, Bradley, and he's always chill. I didn't mean to scratch it. Haley at this point still kind of Blaine, John, Adam, and William. That's how it is kind of right now. Then this is fun. Then I have some craziness with Adam, so I have to kick him out. So now me, Jared, Cameron, Dustin, Bradley, Haley at this point still Blaine, at this point still John, and William at this point. But I have some. Haley decides to have a smart mouth with me about something. So, and she only has to delete in the Brotherhood, so she gets kicked out. Then now, part 5. There's a lot of parts. It's Hunter, lots of moving parts too. Jared, Cameron, Dustin, Bradley, Blaine for a little while, but he'll enter eventually. John and William. That's it at this point. Part 6. But Blaine starts to get on Hunter's nerves about something. Oh, I forgot to push C on these. Oopsie. Okay. So at this point, Blaine is now kicked out. So now it's just me, Jared. This is the final portion of the Brotherhood at this point of 8th grade. This is it. And I'll mention 2.0. Cameron, Dustin, Bradley, John, William, and Christopher C. Now, this is how it ends for 8th grade portion for Sarah John Block. Unfortunately, we get into lockdown, so all of us are putting united into the lockdown with some craziness, but during lockdown we still kind of chit chat, but we're kind of like split up from each other, unfortunately. So all of this, the Brotherhood, it's kind of like done at this point. And 8th grade's done at this point. And Hunter graduates 8th grade, goes to high school. But before I talk about anything else, let me spill the tea about the ending of Brotherhood 2.0. Me, Peter, Jarrett as the assistant, and then Corden, Way, Vander, Brandon, these two will be discussed, and Sean and Christopher King. Now, one day, Brandon and Vander, these two, all throughout the whole Brotherhood 2.0, they've been getting at it every so often about something. They just have a final meltdown, a final boiling point, so they decide to get in a fight, I guess. Not a physical fight, but a verbal argument. It's just kind of crazy. Brandon freaks out. He goes to the office. I decide to kick Brandon out for temporary, but eventually there's some other craziness. The Brotherhood 2.0 kind of gets shut down. So that's it. That's it for 8th grade. That's it for the Brotherhood for now. We're all at home. And Hunter thinks this is it for Brotherhood. This is it. But we decide to bring back Sajon Bach, which is now Sajon Bach OG, which is now high school. So and it's 11th grade. So Hunter decided to bring back the Brotherhood, and we'll discuss it. So, that's nice 8th grade. So we are now in junior year. Hunter decides to bring back the Brotherhood, and it works out, actually. So, works out better than what he thought would. So, 8th grade, the Brotherhood, we're not going to have no Savage Club. There's no Brotherhood 2.0. But I forgot to mention though, but the Savage Club at 8th grade, when I kicked out Adam, he didn't like that, so he started his old rival club with the Brotherhood. It was him, um, Nick, Camden, Aiden, Glendon, so they were all going against my Brotherhood. But when the lockdown happened, and that went, they split up too. And there's no more Savage Club at this point, so there's no rival and there's no Brotherhood 2.0 no more. So this is season 7, part 1 for the Brotherhood. It's me again as the leader. I'm back and better than ever. I'm still the savage. I'm still the king. That Jared, I made him the assistant. Cameron's there for a little bit, for only a week though. He just decides I'm done with school. But John is back. Adam's back. Aiden's back. Lyndon's back. Camden's back. Nick is back. Caden's back. Kason's back. I make all of them sign contract. I asked Logan Walter again and Cliff with us, engage, and they say no. And Bradley, um, Bradley and William and Chris with a C moved schools, so they're no longer here. So, and then and also, Chris with a K is back on this part, and this time there's no jealousy. So this is how it is for a while. It's all pretty good. But Cameron, a week in, decides to drop out, unfortunately. So now it's Hunter as leader, Jared as the assistant, Camden, Nick, Brendan, Aiden, Caden, Kason, Chris with a K, Adam, and John. That's how it is for a while. Um, and then Caden and Kason kind of, get some drama. There's some drama. I have to kick both of them out. So now, part 2, it's me, Jared, Camden, Nick, Glendon, Aiden. Now it's just Chris of Adam and John. And this is pretty much how it is for a while. But Jared, who's friends with this guy named Kobe, wants him to join because I had to kick out too. So he stays for a little bit, but he's not very active, so I eventually have to kick him out. Then I add a friend of mine. I'm just gonna call him Jay. Um, he's there, and then I add him and I kick him out. So now we have part 3. Hunter is leader. Jared, assistant Camden, Nick. I also have to eventually, never mind, I have to also eventually kick out Nick because he wasn't really being an active member. Brendan, Aiden, Chris with a K, Adam, John, and Jay. I'm gonna- Jay. Do that. Okay. So this is how it is for a while. And then before winter break, um, and his friend, I don't remember his name. Um, but I really don't. But seriously. Um, but this is how it is. But before winter break, Camden, Brendan, and Aiden, I believe, get in trouble. And Jay gets in trouble for something. So, oh my gosh. So, this one gets suspended for a little bit. So I have to temporarily kick him out, but he'll be back. He gets expelled. I think, expelled. And he gets expelled. So I got 3 members before winter break gone already. But and it's just me at this point, Jared, Chris now, Adam, John, and Jay's friend for now. Oh, this is around actually this is season 8, part 1 to 2. This is season 8, part 3. I forgot about that. Okay. Now, winter break is done. It's now a new year, a new semester, it's a new season, season 9. And before winter break, Hunter meets this friend, meets a couple new friends, which is nice. They're just friends. So, since he had to temporary kick out these 2 members, Aiden and Camden, and completely kick out because they're expelled, Jay and Brendan, um, he made changes. So he wants to add a new member, and this new member, this is season 9. This new member, I'll tell you. So I'm the leader still. Jared's still my friend, my good assistant. Um, and then Adam, John, Christopher K, um, Dustin. Did I get mentioned? He's still in there. Um, and Jay's friend. I'm just gonna put Jay's friend. Um, and then my new buddy that I met before break is named Lockie, which is actually it's kind of full circle. It's actually Montana's brother. So this is pretty much it. This is pretty much how it is. Pretty much for a long time. Then season 9, part 2. Me still. Eventually, this is now this is last. Season 9 / season 10, which is the final season at the Brotherhood, and this is the last formation ever in the Brotherhood. So get ready. I'm the leader. Jared's still my wonderful assistant. Adam, John, Jay's friend, which I think he started not being partaken in the birth, so I kick him out. So never mind. So John can't mean who was that? Chris with a K, and Lockie and Dustin. So this is the final formation of the whole Brotherhood. This is it. Oh, and eventually Camden comes back, and I bring him back to the Brotherhood, I believe. So this is it. But I think, yeah, Brendan and Jay um and Aiden were, I think, expelled or something. But I asked him if they wanted to come back, and they said no. Also, at this point, Logan Walters comes back, but he's here as well. from the original Brotherhood. And this is it. This is the final timeline, so it ends with me as leader. I'm always leader. Jared, Adam, John, Christopher K, Logan Walters, Walkie, Dustin, and Camden. That's how it ends. And we finished 11th grade all throughout, the whole year. Hunter's Mr. Hunter with Hartman, and it's great and it's amazing. Not all the members made it through the whole way, but life happens sometimes. But we stayed strong. Hunter stayed savage, and it was overall amazing. Hunter enjoyed the opportunity of a lifetime being a leader. So this Brotherhood, in some way, started in third grade, went on to eighth grade, like consecutively, and then we had a pause, and then we bought it back in 11th grade. That's where it ended. Because 12th grade senior was just busy, so we can't really focus. We had to focus on our future, not on a bunch of other stuff. So this is the story of the Brotherhood. It started with Hayden, then it went to me. So, and that's where it ends. So I just thought I would break down the Brotherhood and tell you the story of how it began. This has been going on for a long time. It's like an empire almost. But eventually empires end. But it was an amazing journey. Like Hey Hunter was an amazing journey. And Sajan Block was an amazing journey. But I thought I would just give a ultimate summary, ultimate timeline of the Brotherhood. I hope you enjoyed this Brotherhood. This is the only episode this week. But I'll be back next. I hope so. I hope everyone enjoys, has a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend. And I'll be back here for another episode on Monday, next Monday, March 2nd. So I'll see you then. Um, so, um, so God bless and protect you all. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.